I am committed to bringing people on this podcast that will share their experience, not just their advice and their opinions, but their advice and opinions based on their experience. Today, we have that through Tom Burket, my friend. He's running a 70-year-old construction company, very successful, but he's had 3 startups, one of them that's shut down and 2 he's running now. He shares today. I asked him, I go, Tommy, what advice do you give the open mic community? Someone out there that has a business idea, what's the first thing they should do with the idea to figure out if they should start a business around it?
So like with Burket Farms, I've got an incredible guy that's managing that. You know him, Jim Myers Jr.
Oh yeah, JMJ.
With Bid Streak, that is mostly me. You know, I do have 2 guys that are working with me on it, and then I've got the development team. But I think the only way I can manage it or to keep things advancing is with each thing every week. I try to schedule a meeting and be intentional about it. Schedule a progress meeting. So Bid Streak every week, that team gets together. We spend about an hour, kind of go through what has been fixed, what we're trying to fix, you know, the direction we want to go, marketing, yada, yada, yada. Burket Farm, same thing. I may go down there or call Jim and just say, okay, here's the thing. And this is where I get old school. The yellow legal pad. Yeah. I write down my notes from the week before. Yep. Okay, let's go through each item. It's simple stuff. Yeah. And it's stuff that, like, when I was younger, I think I was so arrogant. Like, I don't even need to go through that. I know that this guy's thinking the same way I am because it's simple. And you can't think that way. Things that I value, my KPIs are different than your KPIs. Right. So, you know, having that list of things that are important to me and doing it at least once weekly to keep it advancing. Because I've noticed when I don't do that, nobody's, if I'm in charge, nobody else is pushing it forward. Right. Absolutely. Right. So being intentional about scheduling time weekly to do that. That's awesome, man. So I'm let's say we have an entrepreneur listening and watching this, and I say that as an entrepreneur in heart, someone who maybe has a job or maybe they have a small business, but they want to look for those opportunities. Like, what bit of advice would you give to someone who wanted to start a venture like Bid Streak or Burket Farms or PJ Callahan even? The number one thing from the genesis of anything you want to do is talk to people. What do you mean by that? Like, hopefully you have people in your community or in your network, you know, whether it's in church, work, friends, talk to people and get advice. Like, don't assume that the notions in your head about how this could work or would it work. Is you'd be surprised, like when you start talking, you know, transparency is huge. And I think especially now in this kind of cancel culture world, it's not that we're all evil people, but you're worried to say something because it can be misconstrued the wrong way. So I think just being honest and transparent to people, like, this is my idea, I want to do this, and don't be afraid that somebody says that's the stupidest idea you've ever heard. And even that can be good advice. Be like, well, why? Yeah. You know? Dig deeper. You know, and so whenever you and I have had conversations, or Kyle and I have had conversations, or probably any of the guys you've interviewed on here that I know, they've all heard about Bid Streak. You know, Kyle provided a lot of great marketing ideas. So that's, I think, the thing that you need before you really start investing your time is kind of put feelers out there and get some different perspectives on challenges you might face or different ways you may launch it to get to where you want to go. You know, leverage your friends' experiences. And that's great. No, that's awesome. Don't be afraid to it sounds like you're saying, don't be afraid to investigate further. Like, go to the people you trust in your circle. Don't be afraid to get rejected. And, even in that early phase. And sharing the idea. I love it. I mean, that's a strength of yours. Like we talked about earlier, is not being afraid to try something, and if it fails, you're going to learn from it and go on. No shame, bro. No shame. That's right. That's exactly right. No breaks, Burket. No breaks. I love it.